All right, this one's entitled, Who Do You Have to Fear? Coming from Psalm chapter 27. So when we look at this word, it starts out by saying, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? You know, when we look, and I want to continue reading, let's go to 2. When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. The reason why David is speaking about this word is a word of reassurance for all of us who have the light, yet we may be in a place of darkness, right? It could be in our marriages. It could be in our jobs. It could be in our very homes. It could be even, anywhere, really. But when we look at this word, it says, whom do I have to fear? Because the Lord is my light and my salvation. So what does that mean? The very places, why would he say this if he's going into battle? He's not going to be looking for a salvation. He's not going to be looking for a light, and he's going into battle, right? He knows if he's going into battle, he's getting ready to kill. He's getting ready to destroy. He's getting ready to condemn those who don't serve God, who God told him to pursue. So what is he really speaking about here? He's really speaking about those people in his life, the people that became his enemies, right? He may not have considered them enemies, but they made themselves to be enemies to him. So how does that happen? Simply by people being jealous of what you have, right? You may be in a state where you have absolutely nothing and feel you have nothing. So why do you have enemies, right? Why do you have foes? Why do you have people who want to destroy you? Why do you have people who don't want to help you in those times? The reason why is because they see a light in you, and that light outshines their darkness. So the multitude of money that they have cannot buy the light in which you possess. That's why it's better to have God than all the riches in this world. Because riches you cannot take with you. But the light that God has granted you, that is something that you could have with you forever. So he sees that, you know that when you're fighting someone or you're having to worry about your enemies and your foes, people who don't love you, people who don't care about you, people who are always putting you down, whosoever they be, you realize at a certain point you want to retaliate, right? You want to fight back. You want them to feel the same way that you felt. But can you still have the light and you are fighting a fight that's not yours? Absolutely not. We see this perfectly explained when we see about David and Saul, right? David was given many opportunities to kill Saul. Many opportunities, numerous amounts. But what happened? He says, I cannot raise my hand against the Lord's anointed. So you can't raise your hand against the Lord's anointed. Why? Didn't God put you there to kill this man so that you could be free, so that you could be happy, that you could retaliate and win? No. God does not need you to fight his battles. I'm going to repeat that. God does not need you to fight his battles. How is it God's battle? I thought we were speaking about David. Simply because David possesses the light. In the word of God, it says, I will abide in you and you will abide in me, and know that you will have no need of spoil. So what does that mean? When someone is really hating on you, doesn't like you, doesn't care about you, they're really fighting a battle not with you, but with God. Because don't forget what I mentioned in the beginning. It's not what you possess in reference to money, because you may be looking at yourself as not having much of anything, but it's the light that you carry, which means they're really jealous of how God has chosen you over them. And if we remember, there's a similar story that's written about that mentions that same thing. And what is it? It's a story of Cain and Abel. So Cain was jealous because he didn't feel that compassion, that same love, that same earnesty that he felt or saw with Abel as he did with himself. Talking about the relationship that Abel had with God, considering the sacrifice that Abel gave versus what Cain gave. But the whole idea that God told them that even this world up to this day has a problem fathoming and understanding is that God said, if you give from your heart, that's all I'm asking you to do. That's all I'm asking you to do. You know, if I eat a piece of lettuce right now, it may be the best lettuce. It may be sweet. It may be crunchy. But then that's it, right? But if I eat a big, juicy steak, right? I'm dealing with the crunch factor because it was done correctly on the outside, properly cooked on the inside. The flavors are all melded and gelled together. Everything is good about it. You're tasting a whole bunch of spices and flavors involved. Even the very smoke in the wood, you know, and how you just put a little bit of salt. So it's a natural reaction for you to like one over another, right? Natural reaction. Do I love one son more than another because one gave me lettuce and another one gave me steak? No. But in my mind, I'm thinking, wow, they considered what they were doing when they provided me this steak, right? The lettuce is kind of like, hey, there it is. I still got to figure out what am I going to do with this lettuce, right? I can't throw it on the fire. I got to eat it. So we're taking all this from the first two verses